Beyond resilience, antifragility. Last episode, I spoke about change and transformation and how change is obvious, though transformation is slow, determined, and yet it is the thing that brings resilience. But there is something today in today's episode I want to talk about beyond resilience. Have you ever thought about being anti fragile? Let me tell you something. As a legend goes, the first time Hercules faced the Hydra, we have all read this story in English grammar in our school days. Now, the first time Hercules faced the Hydra, he despaired when he discovered that cutting off one of its head meant that two would grow back in its place. He would never be able to kill the beast if it got stronger with every wound. As Narcissism Nicholas Taleb explains in Antifragile, the thing that grains from disorder, we use the word fragile to describe people, things, and organizations that are weakened when harmed, and the words robust and resilient for things that are able to withstand harm without weakening. But we don't have a word for things that get stronger when harmed, up to a point, right? Now, to refer to the kind of power possessed by the Hydra of Lerna, to talk about things that get stronger when they are harmed, Taleb proposes the term antifragile. Now, what is antifragility? It is something which is beyond resilience and robustness. The resilient resists shocks and stays the same. Antifragility gets better. When you're not fragile and you take things as it is, start getting better. No matter the kind of catastrophes, exceptional circumstances, offer a good model for explaining your life being anti-fragile, yet you see that you're unaffected, and that is the beauty. If you remember, in 2011 a tsunami hit the Tokyo region of Japan, tremendous damage to dozens of cities and towns along the coast, right? Now, despite of all the catastrophes, we the town has passed through several ghosts streets, remnants house piles of cars and empty train stations. Now, these towns were fragile spaces that had been forgotten by the government and could not recover on its own. But there were other places that have been extensive damage were rebuilt. Now, in our life also, it's the ability to return to normal state after the catastrophe is what is anti-fragility. And when we are anti-fragile, the lessons we have learned in life brings a different text to the life. Now let's take a look at how can we apply this concept to our daily life. How can we more anti-fragile? During my I have been very fragile since childhood. I have feared attention. I have feared to be broken because of the life stories or the life journey I have lived. Yet I stood tall, I stood strong because the will, the determination, and the concept of reviving myself is very strong within me. My weaknesses, which world consider as weakness, is actually my strength. So it's the opposite what world understand me and what am I. I'm very simple with integrity, understand life very closely, and live with the passion and the purpose I am born for. Now, instead of having a single salary, now, these days we are trying to find make money from hobbies, jobs, coachings, businesses, and more. If you're having one salary, you might be considered in a trouble sometime, being left away, and leaving a position to be fragile. But in the other hand, if you have several options and you lose your primary job, it might just happen that you end up dedicating more time to your secondary job and maybe even more money at it. You'd have been beaten that stroke of bad luck and would be, in that case, is anti-fragile. But having one job is also anti-fragile when you understand that professional life is just 25% of your life, or I say 20%, and rest is where you build up yourself. You live a life. In the same game goes for the friendship. It's just a matter, as the saying goes, of not putting all your eggs in one basket, or even if you put your eggs in one basket, sometimes you start building yourself. There's a phase in life which comes where you rebuild yourself, you reskill yourself, you enhance yourself, and that period needs strong resilience. But that does not mean that you're fragile. That is the anti fragility period where you grow yourself. And that is very common term in today's corporate world where we call it a sabbatical. People take sabbatical maybe for a year or 2 years, build themselves and come back. Doesn't mean that they sit idle. Definitely they are doing something. But it is not obvious to the world because building is beautiful thing and one must build it in in a faith and the determination and the purpose and the extraordinary ways, slipping away from the outside world and from the comfort zone. But the unexpected always happens sooner or later. Now, sometimes we bet our life, but we need to bet conservatively. Betting for ourselves, our purpose is important, not for the outside world. The business turmoil in today's world has been so interwoven that the outside world expect people to invest in their business either by hook or the crook or force. You may still make money, but sometimes your way of living is so frugal, not fragile, but frugal, that you're able to meet your needs and do not wish to extend your inner world or the comfort to the outer world. You may have benefited from your damages like the Hydra and realize that life is happy with the less. Now, key to becoming anti-fragile is taking on small risk and living small or living in less basically. That might lead to greater reward later without exposing ourselves to the danger, knowing what is the current state. Sometimes investing at one go is good, sometimes taking a big long break is also good. It depends upon the capacity and the capabilities you are. And the third very important point I would like to share is about get rid of the things that make you fragile. We are taking the negative routes for this exercise. Ask yourself, what makes me fragile? Certain people, things, and habits generate losses for us and make us vulnerable. I have been very emotional for my family, people, mother, and my loved ones. And that has made me not take important steps in my life or live my purpose fully. Now, those are the moments where I feel that people live a very mediocre life and the attachment is so high that you lose yourself. Now, we tend to emphasize these challenges, and there's no objective to self life. Snacking between meals, paying off the debts, bills, avoid spending time with, you know, it is these things are basically we do not understand that life is beyond business and life is also beyond living for others. Live for yourself. You understand your skills, your strength better. Now, to build resilience in our life, we shouldn't fear adversities. Take it up, take the challenge, show it up. Because each setback is an opportunity for growth. Show to the world your power, your skills, and your capabilities and determinations you have. And that is what is anti fragile attitude. And that is what I have. And I built it up. The more you show, the stronger you become. Lifestyle is not about having the things around us. Lifestyle is about being focused on your strength and capabilities. You don't need money for every capabilities. You need yourself and your thoughts, your minds, your heart questioned, and most important, the divine guidance. Life is pure imperfection, as the philosophy of life teaches us, and the passage of time shows us that everything is fleeting. But you have a clear sense of your own understanding of life. Each moment will hold so many possibilities that it will seem almost like an eternity. Now, the mantra of here is live by yourself with yourself. You don't need anyone to live with yourself. You need only those people who understand and vibe and align your understanding, your heart questions, your emotional questions, your intelligence questions, and your spiritual question. When you have these people, align yourself. Otherwise, declutter, filter. People may like to be with you, but you know your path, your purpose, and moving in that direction is very important. Hence, after resilience, you have to have anti-fragility. We talk in the next episode something different, something new. Look forward, stay tuned. And in the coming week onwards, I will be having two podcasts in a week to make it more frequent and the momentum and reach out to the world with my purpose, my understanding, leaving an impact, leaving an intent. Let's make life together wherever possible, may small, may big. Thank you.